we've come up the river now, and I'm going to have a go at it. Now this particular section behind me is so shallow that, and this is the up tide now, 1:30 is when the tide's at its fullest, and that's when I gotta turn around and just get below that very bit of shallow water. I can see the bottom here, and this is tied up, so if I get caught out here, I'm here for the night, so I really need to get it right. But I'm gonna have a go at it. I've got some nice bank on the side here. We're gonna throw some spinnerbaits, see how they size up to this beautiful terrain, and hopefully we can get some fish. So it's a little shallow, I must say. It's quite scary. Well, we've all seen me fish this type of terrain before, and you can see how that current's moving. Going to be using a spinning reel this time with a spinnerbait, just a different perspective. I do have my bait casters here, but just really looking for a bite, you know, and that's all I can ask for right now. As that moves past, I'm just going to flip it into little places, keep it as tight as I can. Just had my first follow come out there, small bass, so that's a good sign. At least it shows us that there's fish here. Didn't come out too aggressively, but it had a look at it, so it shows that there is definitely a chance that we might get some action here. We've got some very familiar looking terrain now for a bit of bass fishing, and I'm just hoping that they're setting up in here. They should be here. This is definitely water that is much fresher, and you know, if I can just get those baits in the right place, hopefully we can get some bites. Still using the spinning reel, just with the spinnerbait on, and just picking little targets and staying quite close, as I've done before. You would have seen on previous shows, on the Bass Assault show, you would have seen me do this, and as that's, you know, moving past all the structure, I'm hoping that they set sort of underneath all of the stuff here, and that's what we're looking for. So far I've had one follow, but that was a little bit further down, so it's yeah, I hope there's going to be some bass here. I haven't fished this much for bass. It's a new stretch of water, so just going to work it and keep my targets tight, and hopefully they're sitting underneath there. And usually they do it on the dropout tide, but they could be active on the incoming tide. I mean, you know, food would be moving in underneath all this stuff, and we've got the sludgy stuff on the water again, which I've fished successfully in the past. So yeah, let's hope that there's some bass around. Oh, there's a bass right behind it. Okay, so there's one that came out, a nice follow. That's exactly what we're looking for. So there is bass here. That's confirmed that one just came right out behind it. Didn't hit the bait, but it was right behind it, so it can confirm that there is bass here. Now we're just going to get them to bite. Okay, that's a good sign, just got to keep on moving these baits, and hopefully we can get into some bites. I don't know if a paddle tail is going to be something that might be good, and I might have to get the bait caster out so I can get further underneath all the stuff in front of us here. Oh yep, another bass follow, so two bass following. Alright, so we got bass here, definitely nice follow. So I'm going to change up to a bait caster on this one. I think that'll be smart. Yep, another bass following. So we've got plenty bass here. Just got to find the right bait now that's going to get these guys to bite. Right, let's get that set up. Get that spinnerbait on. So love this one. This is so accurate. This is a bait caster you cannot miss, and it's just looking so perfect. They're coming out. If I can get it deeper inside there, maybe they'll come out and they'll just reaction strike it. Whack, you know. So they're following it, and that means that we should be able to get a bite when the time is right. So let's do the change up and get in the game. Okay, there we go, guys. So there it is, set up, beautiful. So I've got a nice leader on there as well, nice and thin, so I don't want them to see that line at all. And onto a good open face spinnerbait. So let's do this. Let's pitch it in there, and hopefully we can get some catches. Just giving the paddle tail a try first before I go on to the next to the bait caster with the spinnerbait. That just allows me to get much tighter, and I think, you know, getting underneath and really in the back of that with a bit of pitching would really make a big difference. But I'm just having a look to see if there's any follows on a paddle tail. That would also be something if they would go for that. So I'm just going to work this across all of this reed and stuff. They came out for that spinnerbait several times, so that's just timing. If we can get the right time when they get on the bite, should get some catches. So just trying to work it now. They did like that spinnerbait. I haven't seen a single follow on this particular paddle tail yet, although in some places I've caught plenty bass on a paddle tail. So it's all just a little game now at the minute as we work it, staying very tight to everything. You see how tight I'm getting really tight now, and this is how I like to bass fish, really close to my targets and really getting the baits into the back of that stuff there, you know, into the back, right into it, and get it in there. Paddle tail doesn't seem to pick up as much of the muck as what the spinnerbait's doing. There you go, more fish out. Oh, there's fish there, there's plenty bass, followed that. Wow, there's plenty bass in here. Didn't take it though, which is so interesting. With that, it's time to make up a little bit of change up. So if they're following a paddle tail, I'm going to give you something a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to go to the size that actually is very key, and it's a much smaller bait. The paddle needs to be the right size for the bait, and the other one I'd modified, remember, so the paddle was quite big. So this will give a much smaller wobble. We're going to try that next. So it follows on this as well, so it follows but no takes. Seems like they're sort of sporadically set up in different areas, and I'm just going to have to play each section, but definitely sitting underneath there. You know, they're definitely looking for food. All the sludgy stuff that we got going on here is definitely where I've seen them come out of. So several times now we've had that. Not a single take though, just a follow. Little back crankbait, just got a bite on it. Bass came up and hit it, so short bite again, but got a bite on it. So I'm changing lures at the minute, just trying to change up and adapt. There's plenty of fish around here. There's not many boats that come up here because of the fact that, you know, there's such shallow water down below, and if you don't know what you're doing, you will get stuck. So good that I got, and the basses are coming again. Bass are coming again. Here they come. So they really are following that nicely. Two of them have got aggressive with it, so that's really good. Well, best bites I've got so far is on this little crankbait. I'm going to set up another soft plastic of some sort, probably just a paddle tail, maybe change the color up a little bit. They're following. I've had 2 bites on this, 2 hits. Hoping there's a third time lucky. And size of the fish were not fabulous. They weren't big, but they were definitely bites. So can I put this in front of the right fish? Is there the right fish here? Are they? Yeah, I've seen one big fish come out for a spinnerbait. Really slow roll like this, just nice and slowly, and I've had them come out of it, but again just biting short, being typical bass, being typical Hawkesbury bass. That's always the case with Hawkesbury bass. Watching this tide as it slows up now, it's getting to the top of the tide now, so it's going to start becoming time to turn around. Alright guys, that's the upward tide, and we did as much as we could further up the river. Now I haven't fished the stretch before, but saw lots of bass come out, and we're just starting the dropping tide now. I'm gonna bash the water, man. I've got several lures here. I've got top water, I've got a cicada top water, I've got paddle tail, soft plastic. I've got 2 types of jerk baits, I've got a little crankbait, I've got 2 spinner baits. I'm just going to go. I had fish follow spinnerbait and a little black crankbait, so let's give it a go. I mean, you know, I'm not giving up yet. I've still got a lot of water down below to fish as well, including some of the stuff we did this morning, and hopefully I can add to our score, because that'll make a show and that will make it interesting. Hey guys, leave comments down below, let me know how you guys are doing with your fishing, and if you have any ideas of how to get these fish to bite. If they're not biting today, hey, let us know. And I most certainly have a lot of cool shows coming up, man. As I said, I'm going to the Sunshine Coast. I'm going to be doing a lot of fishing there. I've also got to do a little bit of a bass fishing comparison thing. So we're going to do comparing the Hawkesbury River and Lake Glenbourne, Lake Sinclair, the Richmond River, the Clarence River, and Somerset Lake for bass. And I want to do that. I want to go to do those in details. But let us know how that audio is sounding. It's definitely, hopefully, is getting a lot better. And here we go for the down run. Let's get some fish, man. I really need to. Let's go. Okay, just turned around now. The tide is starting to shift. So this is cool. I'm just going to whack this bank hard on my strong side with spinnerbait, and hopefully we're going to get a bite. It's darkened up a little bit. Maybe that's going to make a factor. I know on the out tide they do like spinnerbaits. I've seen 2 fish that are decent. The rest are all quite small, but there's a lot of them. But yeah, I just cannot get them to take the bait. So my idea now is just to plug away nice and fast. And then when I get below that sandbar, I might slow down a little bit and use something else. But right now, it's just about hammering the water and seeing if I can get that reaction strike. There's got to be a fish around that is aggressive. I've seen a few that are quite aggressive, but again, not, I wouldn't say feeding. So starting to get those takes now, interestingly enough. So I've had 2 follows just on this little section here on the spinnerbait. So hopefully it's turning. Water's starting to go out now, and that was much more aggressive. So missed the dropper hook, unfortunately. Would have been our first bass of the day. Just came up a short while ago and nailed it, but dropper's just out of position, I think. No, dropper looks good actually. Dropper looks pretty good, and yeah, just really trying to get a fish to come out and hit it. I've had 2 bites on the spinnerbait, so that's, well, 2 bumps, 2 nudges. So you know, again, they're just biting short. And there's a fish right there. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, that's what I was looking for. And she's a beauty too. Oh yes, that's it. I knew that dropping tide was going to be a deal. I knew that dropping tide was going to be a deal. Fabulous. Finally, that dropping tide has come through, and I've got a nice bass on here. I knew it was going to happen. I had 2 fish come up and whack this spinnerbait, and then I'm going to try to lift it. I'm going to break my rod. There she is. Yes. And that makes it all worthwhile, everybody, to get that first fish on the drop. And as I was saying, and I'm using the spinnerbait, I just started recording again on my chest cam, and talking about the fact that I was just going to thump the water and look for that dropping tide. Look at that beauty. Absolute stunning fish, and that's what we came here for, up the river. And as I said, I was going to fish the drop as well, and so we're getting some results at last, and I'm sure there'll be some more of those. But just a stunning fish, nice weight on it for a river fish, for a Hawkesbury river fish. That is an absolute stud. So very happy about that, and I'm hoping we get a couple more of those. So thank you, baby. Thank you. Finally learnt a lot as we came up, just where they were biting short, and hopefully there's more of these. So let's go on our drop. Let's see what we can find. Stunning. Yes. It's well worth it when you finally get them. Thank you, baby. Mwah. Back to where you came from. I'll see you again someday. Woo! All right, there it was, man, you know, and I just made that change to come down and just to thump the water, as I often do. And there it is, one good bass on the drop. And you know, I'm hoping it doesn't stop there, because this is when they set up. As I was saying on the way up, you know, I often get them on the drop with the spinnerbaits, and just going to continue, and hopefully there's another couple of good ones around. I should make the sandbar quite nicely. I've timed it well, and I want to fish below that as well. I want to see if I can get us a couple more fish, and but we are definitely going to just keep moving down with the spinnerbait. That one is always going to get the bigger fish too. You know, spinnerbaits are fabulous baits to really target the big ones. You know, the little guys will bump them, but the big guys will take them and take them good. So that's really great that we got that catch. It really makes it worthwhile coming all the way up here. I'd like to secure a few more of them, so I'm going to be working on that. Okay, good. As I come around this point here, so the salt water starts coming back a little bit, and I wouldn't mind having a soft plastic for that, so I'm just going to grab that one. That one's actually set up beautifully for that bridge again. I want to just try that bridge one more time on the way back, and then I might drop a few in on the way out. One or two more fish would be great for the show, so really wouldn't mind doing that. But we've done all right. I mean, we've got some good fish. You know, it's in and out tide. It's not like you can just stay in one place all day and just go and hope to get fish. You got to move around, and this particular corner over here, I'm hoping to get a decent flathead on it, so I'm going to have a go at it. As you come around the corner, you can see how shallow it is now. Look at that, you can see how it's shallowing out, and just over there you can see, you can't make that mistake. And there's one other area up ahead that is also a little bit concerning at times, but I think maybe if I'm lucky I'll get over that one. Okay, with the bridge in the background there, one more last hoorah. Let's see if we get something, and then we'll close out the show. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. We're on the other side of it now, and just down from the with the tide. Just going to bring a little paddle tail through a few times just to see if we get lucky. Maybe, who knows. Well guys, what a great day out. It was just fantastic. We had a fantastic morning, got some good bites earlier on, and I guess if I'd stuck on the flathead we would have got a couple more, but I needed to get up there to see what the bass fishing was like further up the river, and we did do that, and we got a good fish there. And all in all, what a great day out. You know, it wasn't the best day by any means of fishing, but we managed to get some good fish, lots of changes, lots of practicing, lots of casting, and I hope you guys got something out of that. Please leave a comment below and let me know. Lots of great shows coming up. I've got some really good stuff. I've got some comparison stuff I want to do with some bass fishing. I hope I get the time to do all that, and I've got some cool stuff coming up in 2024 too, so stay tuned on that. We'll get some really good shows, and this is all me trying to get the quality of the shows better, so I hope everything is really much better than before. I'm really trying to get us to that next level now, and look forward to seeing you guys next time on the water and on my show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.